Namaste. This video is a continuation of the last video about assessment and evaluation of the border according to the Circular 57. In the last video, we have seen whatever the pattern of the board examination in the main categories of questions, and the sample question paper also published by the CBSE. At the end of the video, I will give you the main pattern of social science, and basic maths and standard maths. Just the pattern of questions. What about the mark allotment? And here we have started internal assessment also. In the internal assessment, first part we can see the periodic assessment. Periodic assessment is 10 marks. That 10 mark is divided into two. Pen paper test 5 marks. And the another component is multiple assessment. Multiple assessment is 5 marks. That can be quizzes, oral test, concept maps, exit cards, visual expressions, etc. And here we have already seen what about the quizzes, then oral test, and in the last video we have seen what about the concept map. And in the concept map is categorized into is spider maps, flowcharts, hierarchical map, chronological map, and system map. What about the spider map? Spider map is similar to the mind mapping. That is a center, one point, one concept. From that center, several concepts can be derived. Here, I have taken in a science topic, that is proton, electron, and neutron. Then about proton, it is a positive charge, and electron, it is negative charge, and neutron, there is no charge. And in the flow chart, in this flow chart, first that is central government, that is based on the decentralization. I just had taken the topic based on the decentralization. First the central government and the union government, beneath that the state government, then the Zilla Parishad, and while we focus on the rural area, there is Panchayat Samadi, Grama Panchayat, Grama Sabha, and beneath that the people who elect the Grama Sabha, that is adult population. This is the order of the decentralization. What I am talking from here, there is a rural area, that is especially it is written the 10th standard decentralization topic in there in federalism. And this decentralization, the bottom we can see the people, the adult people who elect the people to the Grama Sabha. From Grama Sabha, several Grama Sabha together, the Grama Panchayat, several Grama Panchayats together we call the Panchayat Samadi, and several Panchayat Samadis in a district we are forming the Zilla Parishad. And then several districts in a state constitute the state, and several states together we get the central government. So as a flow chart there. And next to the hierarchical map, just I have taken a feudal society, feudalism. There king is at the top, then beneath that the lords, beneath the knights, then comes the peasants. Yes, then chronological map, which is based on the ascending or descending order we can do. Anyway, here I have taken just an example of the freedom movement from the end of the 19th century. That is, International Congress was formed in 1885. Then next, the Partition of Bengal in 1905. Then Minto Moral Reforms in 1909. The repeal of the Partition of Bengal in 1911. And Lucknow Pact in 1916. And Home Rule League in 1916. That way it goes. The next 1919, the Government of India Act or Mountain Census Reform. Like that, you can write down the topic, you can select and write down. Then comes a system map. What about the system map? System map it's a little complex. That is, here I have taken the topic impact of COVID-19. It has it has impact on primary sector, secondary sector, and tertiary sector. That is all major activities of an economy. And the primary sector, we know agriculture, fishing, mining, and in secondary sector, it is based on industries, where extraction of inputs, and while we are having the inputs and we are converting inputs into output, that about the industry. Then the tertiary sector, because for the survival of the primary sector and the secondary sector, tertiary sector is essential. This is a supporting system, this is the aiding system. And when we say about the primary sector, suppose we take agriculture, and for agriculture we need industries. That means for the clearing the soil, tilling the soil, preparing the soil, we needed the tillage, tractors, and all other equipments and machines. So we needed the industries, industrial products, industrial equipments we needed. And for this, the transportation of agriculture, for the transportation of these equipments to the farming sectors or farming area, we needed transportation, we needed. So the tertiary sector, transportation, banking, insurance, etc. will come. So this shows interdependence. A 10 standard one topic is there, interdependence of the sectors. So they are connected to each other. Yes, for marketing also we needed the tertiary sector, banks we needed. So this way the sectors are interrelated. Yes. So anyway, as even though it is based on the concept map, this topic can be taken as a project also. Yes, how a two-dimensional art integrated project we can be made. That is how the two-dimensional or three-dimensional vision, three-dimensional art can be involved here. That you can paint, you can picturize, you can take photographs, or you can take videos like that. It can be inculcated, integrated. That means when we say about the art integration, it is about music, dance, then art and craft, and also theater. So that is so in the concept map itself you can draw, or you can little more modify it, and you can make a project. Yes. Then comes the multiple assessment. Multiple assessment, yes, we are talking about the multiple assessment. Concept map we have seen. Now the exit cards, it is not that much familiar. And the exit card requires students to respond questions or prompts on a piece of paper that they will pass into teacher before they leave the class. So before they leave the class, let them pass a piece of paper according to the order of the teacher. That paper consists of different levels of questions. I will tell you before they leave the class how to use it. Individually we can use it through the small groups or whole class. When to use before the class, that means recalling some topics. When we take a topic, previous day also we might have started that. So what do you know about that topic, like that. And during the class or after the class, something difficult we are teaching, then you can ask, okay, you write down what you have to write, that we are going to see. As prompts document learning, write one thing that you learned today, how today's lesson can be used in the real world. Prompts that emphasize the process of learning. I didn't understand. Write one question you have about today's lesson. Prompts to evaluate the effectiveness of instruction. Other examples. I would like to learn more about it. Yes, this is from that student itself is rising. I would like to learn more about it. Please explain more. Yes, most difficult thing you have learned today. Things surprised me today was. So see, one example is that how do you feel about today's class? Is happy, excited, sad, neutral. Then another one, please explain more. I didn't understand the concept. I'm happy. I would like to learn more. Most difficult, so surprised. So the teacher can classify how many of them didn't understand, how many of them have learned it properly, understood it properly. That way from there, the teacher can concentrate on or focus on those children who are not understood the topic. Then the assessment continues, the multiple assessment. Another concept is the visual expression. About the visual expressions involved, photographs, as visual expressions are involved in many different reproductive methods and materials. Photographs can be there, graphs, tables, drawings, objects, film, web pages. Visual expressions are ideas, feelings, and values visually represented. Ideas, feelings, and values visually represented. They are art forms such as painting, drawing, print making, sculpture, ceramics, photography, video, filmmaking, design, crafts, needlework, architecture, drama, music, dance. They are lines, shapes, tones, color, pattern, texture, form. Yes, lines, Yes, most often these lines we are familiar to the mathematics, isn't it? Suppose it is a rectangle or square or hexagon. According to that, that is it depends on how many sides, four corners, six sides, six corners. So that way the lines emphasize the importance of learning. How through the visual expressions they can. Then visual expressions are special expressions in perceptible form. What is perceptible form? It means it is able to seen or felt. Yes, it is able to seen or felt. A visual presentation with moving images and pictures based on designed for or controlled by the use of sight. Yes, by saying this picture we can see that it is all about the music. Is it music that is moving? It is not about one word, isn't it? And it is about celebrations. I have just drawn the picture of the balloons, that is the moving. So when we see a picture, it shows about the condition of that particular feeling we will have, or we will have something which we can see and understand what is the situation. That is about the visual expression. And several other assessments we were going through the last year also, that also can be included in the multiple assessment. This I focused on the circular, what it is written about. Yes. Next, we can see what about our model question paper. I didn't take the model question paper entirely. So for understanding easily whatever written there, what type of questions were given there, that only I focus on. Yes. Yes, this I have shown in the last video. That is just as issued the sample question paper. Just I written this is social science. It is having A, B, C, D, E, and F sections are there. 37 questions are there. Yes, this way 1 mark questions 20, then 2 mark questions 4, then 3 mark questions 5, then 5 mark questions 4, and again you can see that. Is map question, the case-based questions, 4 mark questions 3, and the map-based questions, history 2 and geography 3. Then the science, instead of F, E is there. This same way, 1 mark question, 20 questions, 2 mark question 6, then 3 mark question 7, then 3 mark question section D. Here, this way it goes. 5 mark question 3 is instead of 3, this 5 mark question 3, and 4 mark question 3. So like this. So 34, 35, here 34, 35, 36, 3 questions. I have made my mistake here. That is, I will correct it. That is here 5 mark questions 3. That is 5 into 3. 15. So 1 mark, 2 mark, 3 mark, 5 mark, again 4 mark. This 4 mark is source-based, case-based questions. Then comes mathematics. What about the basic maths and standard maths? Almost the same I have found. Is 5 sections are there. Section A 1 to 20 MCQs, that is 20 marks. Then here it is written short answer type. One type question 2 marks, 2 type questions 3 marks. Then long answer 5 marks. Then again case based questions 4 mark. So this is this is what I have written for, in order to understand at a glance. I have written so, and yes, this can also be taken as. Then in the last video, I could not say something more about that. I am this through this video. I am giving you. I am extending my sincere thanks to my relatives, my friends, my well-wishers, my neighbors, the whole area, the community we belong to, the area of the people who I belong to, and the teachers, management, non-teaching staff of Bharati Vidya Bhavan, Kodungalur, and the teachers and educators of All India Educators Forum, then the Art Integrated Learning Group, Active Teachers of India Group, then the most important, the Canara Bank employees, the retired employees, then his friends, my husband's friends, all of them. I am extending my thanks at this juncture. Thank you for giving me continuous support to sustain in this field and my life. Thanks. Thank you all.